Thanks so much, Shannon. We'll check back in with you. Let's bring in Ari Fleischer and along with you. But in the meantime, while they work on the audio,
you should be live.
Ari, let's get some.
Good afternoon. Sorry for the few minutes delay, including my being on mute for a minute. I'm Liz Krueger, your state senator, and I'm bringing it, well, I might or might not be your state senator. I'm somebody's state senator. If you live in the 28th district, I'm yours. And I'm here to present day 2 of our new model of our annual senior resource fair. For 13 years, we did these live with up to 700 to 900 people, all in the same place, trying to learn from each other and the organizations who are serving older New Yorkers and having actually a really terrific time. But obviously, because of the pandemic, we can't do it that way this year. So instead, we've broken this up into 3 afternoon sessions. This is day 2 of a 3-part virtual event, with our final event coming tomorrow. And today's is on health and exercise and keeping your body and your mind together and healthy during this time. Tomorrow's final day will be on job searching skills and tips, even during a tough time like a pandemic. We really have a wonderful event today for you today. We've not done this kind of program before that involves maybe asking you to get up and do some physical activity in front of your computer screen with nobody watching, except for our guest presenters. But before I get to today's proceedings, I want you to be aware we have a CART, C-A-R-T, Communication Access Real-Time Translation Captioner converting speech to text. So as a viewer, you have to activate the closed captioning to view the text on your computer device. If you are on Zoom, which many of our watchers are, you click on the closed caption CC in meeting controls to start viewing closed captioning text. And if you're on Facebook as a live event, you will see a setting button on the bottom right-hand corner of the video. Click closed caption, again, CC, to start viewing your closed captioning for the event. I also want to share some information about voting because everyone's talking about voting, making a plan to vote, making sure they get it done. Judging on the very high volume of calls and emails to my office, there's a lot of interest and a lot of people already know exactly what they're going to be doing. But we want to remind people there are multiple ways to vote between now and Election Day, November 3rd. First off, October 27th is the deadline to request an absentee ballot. And you can get all the information about this at vote.nyc. Then there's early voting, which will take place between Saturday, October 24th through Sunday, November 1st at many sites around the city. We're pushing early voting at my office. Why? Because it won't be nearly as crowded as your regular polling site on Election Day, November 3rd, where you can still go to vote on Election Day. It will be much less crowded, and for people concerned about social distancing, it's a fine way to vote, but it also, for people who are concerned that their absentee ballot might not get back and forth correctly or on time or something else, it assures you that you are seeing yourself place your ballot in the machine and it is being counted right then and there with you at the polling site. So 3 ways to do it: by mail, by early voting, by regular voting. And there's a little confusion out there, no panic. If you ask for an absentee ballot, but then you decided you would rather vote in person early or on November 3rd, that's fine. They won't count you twice. They will just count you once, and the priority will be the in-person vote. So even if you ask for an absentee ballot, even if you mailed in the absentee ballot, you still have the right to vote in person. So again, everyone's got to have a plan, And there's no excuse this time. We're all watching to make sure that we all vote. All right, let's get to this afternoon's event. We have a wonderful group of teachers and organizations who will share information about the importance of exercise for older adults and a range of virtual options that you can access. I hope you are wearing comfortable clothes and are ready to participate actively in today's event. To get more information about the about the presenters and their organization's programs, please go to my senior resource page on my website. So www.lizkrueger.com/SRF slash www.lizkrueger.com/SRF and SRF Senior Resource Fair. It's also up in the chat section right now if you want to take a look or write it down. Our first presenter is Madeline Freundlich, a fitness instructor and personal trainer at Asphalt Green. Madeline's going to provide a brief overview of the importance of exercise for overall health and well-being, especially as we age. After Madeline will be Lynn Cremando. She is a certified personal trainer and corrective exercise specialist and will show us how to activate our bodies with a sensitivity for those with arthritis. Hello, that's me now. Lynn teaches classes for health advocates for older people. And after Lynn has warmed us up, Chris Gould, a master trainer who teaches classes at Asphalt Green, will lead us in an exercise demonstration. Then, for those of us who can still move our bodies after Chris, we have Hannah Swanson, a dance teacher for Lenox Hill Neighborhood House, who will provide a Simonson Technique overview and help us to cool down. So Madeline will offer the final demonstration and lead us through a guided meditation. I think meditation is a valuable idea to throw in because, frankly, I'm finding so many people are really dealing with angst and stress at a level they might not have ever been exposed to for this amount of time. I think the general world situation right now between pandemic, economic downturn, climate fires, some people who are in elected office, all of that is adding up to really adding to our stress and our worry and our angst. So people who've always thought, maybe I should learn something about this meditation idea, I think this is the right time to think about it. So we're very glad that we're throwing in some discussion about meditation as well. After Madeline presents her demonstration and the discussion of meditation, we're going to get to the Q&A section. We have questions that were submitted in advance, and you can submit questions today through whichever format you're on, Facebook or Zoom. People who are watching on Zoom can submit by clicking on the Q&A button at the bottom of the Zoom window, and you can submit your questions through Facebook the way you always put information on Facebook. So now it is my pleasure to start the program with Madeline Freundlich. Hello, Madeline.
Hello, Senator. Thank you so very much for such a lovely introduction. It is such a pleasure to be with all of you this afternoon. We know that exercise is good for us, but do you know what the primary benefits of exercise are? Well, let's look at a few of those this afternoon. Benefit number one is that exercise can prevent illness. Conditions and diseases, which include, among others, coronary artery disease, high blood pressure, colon cancer, and diabetes. It's also important to recognize that exercise can improve the overall immune function. As we grow older, our immune systems can become compromised, and so exercise can really boost the functioning of our immune system and make it harder for us to get infections or develop illnesses. So benefit number two of exercise is that exercise can improve our mental health. We know that exercise produces endorphins, sometimes called the feel-good hormones, And these act as a stress reliever. It is through exercise that we're able to let go of stress in our body. Also, exercise has been found to engender within us more positive and happy feelings. So a tremendous mental health benefit from physically working the body. We also know that exercise has been linked to improving sleep. So for many of us, as we get older, we are experiencing insomnia or disruptive sleep patterns. And so exercise can make sleeping easier, falling asleep, staying asleep, getting a good night's sleep. So benefit number 3 is that exercise can decrease the risk of falls. So we're all aware that as we get older, we are at increasing risk of falling and sustaining injuries as a result of a fall. So exercise can help improve our strength and flexibility, and by doing that, also improve our balance and coordination, both of which are really important in reducing the risk of falling and sustaining injuries as a result. Benefit number 4 is exercise can help maintain healthy bones, muscles, and joints. So importantly, exercise can keep the joints healthy by increasing the flow of blood to our joints. And with that blood comes lots of nutrients that keep our joints stable, healthy, able to move freely. It also has been proven over and over that regular exercise can help relieve joint pain and stiffness by making the muscles stronger that support our shoulder joints, our other joints in our body, and also by improving flexibility. Our 5th and final benefit, and a really important one, is that exercise can help improve the way the brain works. So we know now that regular exercise can help the brain better adapt to stress. And as Senator Krueger was just describing, we're under so many different sources of stress now in our daily lives. So exercise can really meet that challenge and help our brains adapt and be able to cope with stress more effectively. Also, exercise has been shown to improve and also preserve memory, which is another important facet that we cope with as we grow older. So those are the 5 major benefits of exercise. So I do want to refer you to the chat where we have posted a link to a great resource called Senior Exercise and Fitness Tips. It reviews the benefits of exercise, but more importantly, this is a wonderful resource to give you tips on how to get ready, start an exercise program. So I encourage you to go into the chat box, the wonderful information that is available to you there. And with that suggestion, I will thank you for your attention and please enjoy the rest of this afternoon.
Well, thank you very much, Madeline. That was a great introduction for us all. And next we're going to Lynn Cremondo, Health Advocates for Older People Exercising with Arthritis. And Lynn, I'll just note that there's already a question up on the chat board about dealing with arthritis and knees. So you might touch on that perhaps in your presentation.
We will definitely touch on that, and you're right to ask about knees because hips and knees are the major place. These are the workhorse joints. So where people have osteoarthritis, it's very often in the hips and the knees. I'm going to talk a little bit further about what Madeline said, and then we're going to go into something. I'm going to distinguish something because I want to talk to you folks who have arthritis, and you know who you are. We're going to talk about movement and the cycle of pain, because when you have arthritis and you have joint pain, what is the very last thing you want to do? Correct, exercise. The cycle of pain. My knees hurt, so I don't want to move them. My knees hurt because joint space. By not moving them, the degradation gets worse. I'm not getting circulation. My blood flow isn't coming through to take away the inflammation. The bone is forming more bone because it thinks it's got a dead space there. Now my pain is worse. My mood is terrible. I'm not sleeping. And because I'm not sleeping, I'm not healing. That is called the cycle of pain, because at this point now I really don't want to move. So what you've got to do is move those joints. So before exercise, movement. That means you don't have to go out and run a 5K, but you do have to move your joints. So we're going to go through a joint warm-up. And what I want to tell you about any exercise program that you do is never take your joints into pain. Always go, what I call it is, you can walk up to the door, you can look in the window, but do not enter the house of pain. Stop before you feel pain in a joint space. So we're going to start with a really easy set of movements for all of our joints. I'm going to invite you to do, these are called shoulder girdle rolls. Most people are just grinding on their shoulders all the time when they don't realize the shoulder blade is very important. It's very important for your shoulder blade to slide and glide along your rib cage. So as you're doing the shoulder blade movements, you can start to open up movement possibility in the shoulder joint itself. So you can turn your palms down and up, and then let's add the elbows. Let's add the wrists. Let's add the fingers. Before you know it, you are conducting a wonderful galactic orchestra with your hands and your arms, and we've warmed the synovial fluid in your joints. This is like taking a tin can of oil to your joints. Now let's finish this with a breath in through your nose. Bring your shoulders all the way up to your ears. Open your mouth and say, ah. And again, inhale, nose through your nose, take your shoulders all the way up to your ears, open your mouth and say, ah. One more time. And ah. Now, what I'd like you to do now is just notice how you feel. Because when the shoulder blades get stuck, the breath gets inhibited. So notice how you're breathing right now. Is it better? Do you feel looser? Does movement feel easier? That's what happens when you move your joints. So let's do one more thing for the shoulder girdle. You're going to take your arms out in front of you, turn your palms up. Make sure your hands are lower than your shoulders. With an in-breath through your nose, you're going to draw a bouquet of flowers toward you. Smell the rose. Turn your palms and lightly blow out the candle. Smell the rose. And blow out the candle. Let's do that one more time. Smell the rose. Draw your shoulder blades in. Feel your back body waking up and blow out the candle. And let's finish this with a little sun breath. Inhaling through your nose. Only take your arms as high as is comfortable. Nice wide sweep down. One more time. Inhale through your nose. Open your chest. Lengthen your spine. Exhale and release. One more time. Inhale. Feel the breath moving through your body, animating your spine, filling up your lungs, and release. Place one hand on each of your thighs. We're going to inhale and sit up straight, and then we're just going to lean forward and loosen up our back a little bit. Come back up one more time. Lean forward and just loosen up your back. And now that you've loosened up your shoulders and you've separated them from your neck, we can take a little bit of time to free up the neck. Lots of tension in the neck. Take on an exhale through the nose, the tip of your chin toward the hollow of your neck. And with an inhale, lift your chin up, but don't take your head back. So you're going to exhale. Go. One more time. Inhale. I'm sorry, exhale. Chin goes to the hollow of the neck, and then lift your face up toward the ceiling. Come back to center. Now imagine you're wearing dangling earrings, or maybe you are. Put the dangly earrings so that they are sitting right over the seam where a t-shirt seam would be. So now you've aligned your head, and it's safe to rotate from side to side. Take your time and let your body warm into movement. Come back to center. We're going to take ear towards shoulder and come back up. Ear towards shoulder. Notice I'm not turning my head. My nose is facing front. Ear to shoulder and come back. Now take your ear to your shoulder, and in this opposite hand, put an imaginary 50-pound weight and let that weight hang. And feel this whole side of your body opening up. And then you're going to take the tip of your nose and point it toward the floor. Bring your head back to the center point and back up. We never want to take tension from one side to the other. So we're always going to do a reset in between. And now we'll take the other side. So you're going to take your other ear to the shoulder. Grab that 50-pound weight, let it hang. Now turn the tip of your nose toward the floor and make sure you're breathing. Come back to the center and come up. So that's going to take care of our upper body. Let's get some energy into our hips. So take your legs slightly apart or way apart if that feels good. And what we're going to do is we're going to move our body around our hips so that we can get some circulation going in our hips. If you've been sitting for a long time, when you get up, you're going to find that your joints are stiff, because that's what happens with arthritis. After immobility comes stiffness. So we're going to do this gentle kind of stuff. Take your right hand around the outside of your right knee, and we're going to, with your right knee, very gently. So we're going to get lubrication through this hip joint, and we're going to foster some movement and some circulation in a pain-free way, never going into pain. Now I'm going to take the same leg and do what I like to call a leg yawn. You're going to draw your thigh toward your chest and then extend your leg out in space. Extend through your toes like your leg is taking a big yawn. So you're going to bring your thigh toward you and then take a big yawn. And again, take your thigh towards you. Notice that I'm flexing my ankle. I'm drawing my toes back to my knee so that I'm getting the whole lower chain here into the action. Now, very, very important. So when we have knee arthritis, what is usually easy is straightening the knee, but what's much more painful generally is this, bending or flexing the knee. So we're going to do what I call knee bells. You just like you're clanging the clapper of a bell, let your lower leg gently, you're just gently tapping on it with your fingers to encourage knee flexion without pain. And finally, the ankles. It's so important to have smart feet and smart ankles. It's your best defense against falls. So we're going to make mindful ankle circles, and that means you're going to go all the way around the globe with this foot. In one direction, spread your toes, use all the surfaces of your foot, and then come the other way. So you want to make every conceivable movement you can. Now, just get a little bit playful. Flip your foot, do windshield wipers. Spread your toes and curl them. Smart feet are so important. So let's put this foot on the floor next to the other one, and I'd just like you to compare the sensation in your two legs and note. And now we'll do the other side. So you're going to take your left hand around your left knee. We're making little circles. We are doing circumduction of the hip. It's on the test. Haha, there's no test. And then from there, we're going to draw the thigh toward the chest and take a big stretch through the whole leg. Draw your thigh toward your chest, extend through your leg. Couple more like that. Easy, never force, just allow. The more you just allow, now we're doing our knee bells. So we're just ringing. Imagine your lower leg is the clapper. If you allow your joints to tell you where they want to go, you'll have much less pain and you'll be able to foster more movement. And now let's get going with ankle circles. Make your feet smart. That means slow, complete cycles. You'll feel this all the way up your leg. Put your feet on the floor. Sit up in your chair. Now, we hardly did anything if you think about it, but notice how you feel. So if you are interested, we have lots of movement classes through Health Advocates. They're all free and they're all online. You can go to our website. And I hope that I've warmed you up so that you can work with Chris in the next segment.
That was great, Lynn. I think you did warm us all up. I was trying not to do them because I'm supposed to be staying in place here, but I'm going to rerun this right after we complete today and do all of these things. I need them all, so thank you. So next we're starting class with Chris Gould from Asphalt Green, and a couple of people wrote in questions about what is Asphalt Green. So everybody who's on, you are web-friendly people, go do a search on Asphalt Green, which is an amazing facility in my district. Giant swimming pool, physical activities, classes and programs for all age people. So Chris, take it away.
Thank you, Senator Krueger. Lynn did an excellent job of getting us warmed up. So we'll take that step further. And right away, we'll sit to the edge of our chair. Okay, relax your shoulders. Breathe down to your belly. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. Again, relax your jaw, your shoulders, bringing your rib cage down, tucking your hips underneath. Feet are wider than the legs on your chair. Big inhale. Loose belly, let that belly flow out. Exhale, bringing the rib cage down. One more breath, inhale. Loose belly. Exhale, rib cage down. Okay, from here, we're gonna stand and sit, also known as squatting, okay, flowing through an up-down motion. So firstly, our feet have what we call a tripod in them. The ball of the big toe, the ball of your small toe, and your heel create a triangle in which you will push through. So piggybacking off of what Liz so eloquently put, make sure that there's no pain in the joint. So joint pain means stop, whether it's your shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, or what have you. We're gonna stand up, feet wider than the chair, leaning the torso forward. Big inhale first. Exhale, pressing the feet through the ground, extending the hips, squeezing the glutes. On the way down, you're gonna ride a big horse, push the hips back, open up the hips and knees, descend slowly, and recover. Excellent. We'll do that 3 more times. Leaning forward, hips, knees, and ankles out. Big inhale first. Exhale, pushing the tripod through the ground, squeezing the glutes. Last 2. Down slowly, opening up the hips and knees, gently touching, pushing the ground away. Exhaling. 1 more. Big inhale, hips go back first, opening up the hips and knees, Gently touching, pushing the ground away. Exhaling, very good. So from here, let's walk our feet in to hips and shoulders width apart. We're gonna do a cardio warm up here that will require a bit of balance and some body awareness. So from here, we're going to lift and lower each leg at about 45 to 90 degrees. So lifting and lowering slowly with control, making sure that the feet are pressing into the ground as the opposite hip, knee, and ankle raise. Now, here's your modification. You'll take your chair, keep going the rest of you. Rest that chair hand and begin the lifting and lowering, keeping that rib cage down, breathing freely. About 5 more seconds. Again, warming up the hips, knees, and ankles, using the chair for balance. And recover. Very good. We'll have a seat back into the chair. Again, if there's knee pain during sitting and standing, you can always get your feet wider than the chair legs, open up the hips and knees, set the hips back first, descend, and that'll give you an opportunity to use your adductors and hamstrings to protect those knees. An intermittent stretch for the hips. Feet are in alignment with the hips and shoulders. Let's cross over. Gently cross over one leg, gently pressing the inside of the knee and feeling a stretch in that hip. Now, if that's painful in the knee, you can slide that crossed leg over a bit more and lean the chest and torso forward to get that stretch in the posterior chain, your glutes and your hamstrings. Let's hold this for about 10 seconds. Relax your shoulders. Big inhale through the nose, out through the mouth. A nice warm stretch in the posterior chain and recover. Very good. Other side. Again, stretching the hips, glutes, and hamstrings. Here's a cue to know when something is too intense. A numbering system 1, 2, or 3. 3 is painful. 1 you don't feel at all. 2 is just right in that happy space, right in the sweet spot. So we want to get to about a 2, between a 1.5 to a 2 in the hip area and the hamstring area. Okay, so gently press down on the inside of the knee. Again, if there's knee pain, slide that foot down, make that a tighter cross. Pull your torso into that up knee. 5 more seconds. Big inhale, shoulders down, and recover. Very good. Okay, from here, feet, knees, and hips, again, wider than the legs on your chair. We're gonna do 3 more reps of standing and sitting, getting those legs out at about a 45-degree angle. Inhale first, torso comes forward, push that tripod through the ground, squeeze those glutes. Set the hips back, decelerate, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right back up, 1, 2, extending. Last one, tripod, pushing those feet through the ground. Side view, hips go back first, getting those knees out of the way, opening up, 4, 3, 2, 1, and recover. Okay, so you can practice that on your own and make sure, again, as Lynn said, no knee pain. Okay, from here, core activation, internal, external obliques, arms up in the air. We're warm now. From here, you're gonna drop your shoulders, bring your shoulder blades down. Pretend that there's a pencil between your shoulder blades that you're gently squeezing, arms up, slightly away from your ears, rib cage down, hips tucked underneath. From here, you'll tilt your right hip out, slowly lean your mid back over to about a 45-degree angle, rib cage down. Exhale on the way back up. 2 more times on that same side, shoulders down and away, feet pressing down through the ground, leaning over to your left, exhaling. Big inhale on the way back. And here's your modification for the last repetition. Hands on hips, big inhale first. Exhale, rib cage down as you lean, 4. Purse lip breathing. And inhale back to the beginning. Excellent. Arms up, opposite side. This will be your right side. Squeeze your glutes. Feel your hips tuck underneath. Rib cage down, big inhale. Exhale as you lean. Rib cage down. 2, 1. 1, 2. Big inhale, leaning 4, 3, 2. Exhale. Big inhale. Last one is the modification, hands on hips. T-spine mobility, thoracic spine, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shoulders down and away. 1, 2. Very good. From here, let's get the feet even wider than the chair here, the legs on the chair. Drop the shoulders. Allow the hands to hang in between your adductors or your inner thighs. Drop the chin and drop the shoulders. Feel the cervical spine open up. Feel your shoulders lengthen, those upper traps. And from here, gently start to set your hips back in the chair. Allow your hands to pull you down to the ground. Chin is tucked. Any pain, joint pain means stop. Loose belly, inhale, exhale. From here, from the end range, no more than a 2 in terms of intensity. Gently shake that head no. Let's get some cervical spine mobility, keeping those feet pressing through the ground. Breathe freely. On the way up, keep that chin tucked, push those feet through the ground. And recover. Very good. So from here, we'll stand up the same way we've been practicing. Push the ground away, squeeze those glutes at the top, okay? We'll go to the side of the chair. We'll touch on the seated hip mobility exercise that Liz showed us in the previous segment. So from here, the outside leg is going to be the active leg on this particular movement. Inside leg is your base of support. The hand is going to be 10%. The base of support is going to be 70% of the weight on that inside leg. The outside leg, 20% up, out and around, rib cage down, leg circles back in the same plane of motion. That inside hip is back, that base of support knee is soft, driving through that base leg. Big inhale, exhale, rib cage down, outside hip up, out and around, and then back in the same plane of motion. One more repetition. Again, using the chair for balance, just a tactile mechanism, not leaning on it, focusing on that inside leg, driving the outside hip, knee and ankle up, out and around, rib cage down, barely touch, push that base of support leg through the ground, up and over, and recover. Very good. Other side. Again, Liz showed us a modification for this in which you could do this exercise seated as well. Inside leg drives down through the ground, that tripod, ball of your big toe, small toe and heel driving through. Hip goes back, knee is soft, soft touch on the chair, outside leg comes up, out and around, 90 degrees in the ankle, knee and hip, breathing freely. Big inhale first, exhale, rib cage down, up and over. You may hear a little snap, crackle, pop. As long as there's no pain, we can sort of work through that. One more, pushing the base of support leg through the ground, breathing, coming back around, and recover. From here back into the chair, let's revisit that seated pigeon stretch. Crossing one leg over, it should be a little more doable now. Okay, so you're gonna gently press that up knee and make sure that intensity again is between a 1.5 and a 2, which is moderate. 3 is painful. We want to stay away from 3s. If you need a bigger stretch here, gently press that up knee, lean the torso forward, make sure that base of support foot is pushing down through the ground. Again, relaxing, very key here. Shoulders down and away, breathing from the diaphragm, really allowing that stretch to take place in that posterior chain, in that hip area, and recover. Other side. Feet are hips width apart, crossing over. Typically, one leg will be tighter than the other. For me, it's my left. You'll be able to tell right away. We'll just bring it along for the ride and eventually get it to open up. So that arm on the up leg will press gently. Shoulders down and away. Make sure that base of support leg is not leaning in, but it's in alignment with the hip and shoulder. Okay, we'll see what we get on this other side. Breathing freely, loose belly. For my singers and actors out there, you know exactly what we're talking about. Shoulders down and away. Leaning forward, 5 seconds. And recover. Good. One more exercise. This is going to involve.
I think we've passed the time, so I'm going to go off before the last exercise. But
thank you so much.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So now we're going to move to Hannah Swanson to teach us how to cool down safely after all this amazing exercise we're learning to do for ourselves. Hi, Hannah.
Hi. There
we can hear you. Yep, we can see you and hear you. Great.
Hi, everybody. My name is Hannah. I'm the dance instructor for Lenox Hill Neighborhood House on the Upper East Side. I'm going to be leading you through some exercises today from Simonson Technique. Simonson Technique is a dance technique that was created actually here in New York City in the 1970s by Lynn Simonson. She was an injured dancer, and so she created this style that really focuses on proper alignment through the body, creating more fluidity and more awareness within your body as well. So we're going to be working through the spine as well as opening that lower back and hamstrings. I did just read your mind. I know that you have lower back pain. Don't worry, free of charge. Take that one with you. So also for today, I just want to check in. If you do have any feelings of vertigo, or if you're not comfortable with your head going below your heart, I just want you to modify today by either using a chair support or just going halfway into your stretches, right? Also, don't worry, I'm not looking for Olympic gymnast flexibility here. We're just learning today. We're trying it on and seeing what happens. Go with what's comfortable. I loved Chris's way of using 1, 2, 3. So keep that with you today. We're going to start with a narrow base underneath ourselves, 10 toes on the floor, weight out of the heels. So I really want you to think about shifting that weight forward, weight out of the heels, slight bend to the knee. If I sink back here and I drop my knees, I'm going to come into my back and make that tight. We're trying to open that up and release it. So I want you to shift your weight forward and weight out of the heels. We're going to take the right ear to the right shoulder, tuck the chin, and arrive on the left shoulder in 4 counts. And then I want you to reverse 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to lift the chin and see the ceiling. I'm going to turn to the side for you. I'm going to lift up and float to the back. So what I don't want to do is just drop my head back and crunch it. So there's a tennis ball right underneath the base of my neck, and so I'm going to float and roll the tennis ball. So I'm feeling that stretch in the opposition of my shoulder as well as opening up into the chest. We're going to come up into a nice tall vertical. We're going to start a roll down starting with the eyes, nose, chin, shoulders, curve. I'm going to come into it halfway. I'm still forward in my toes and I'm hanging here. I'm just going to hold here for 4 counts so that way I can really feel myself hanging off, letting my head drop and seeing the floor. Here comes where it's up to you to modify how far you want to go down. You get 4 more counts to reach forward into that stretch. You might feel a slight pull on your hamstrings. That's okay. We're going to take 8 gentle pulses against ourselves. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to bend into the legs, drop the tailbone, roll back up through sequentially into the spine, going lower back, stomach, chest, ribs, and all the way up to the head. We're gonna start it again and take it on the left. So now my left ear will come to my shoulder, I'll arrive on the right, and then we'll reverse up into the back, take it halfway. We'll hold, just finding that weight through the fingertips, weight through the tip of the nose. We're gonna go up and over forward, taking it all the way down or as far as you feel comfortable going, 8 pulses against the self, and then we're gonna round up, okay? We're just gonna do 2 for today, and I've got some music for you as well. All right, here we go. Go ahead and find that narrow base. Right underneath yourself, checking, making sure there's a slight bend in your knees. Shoulders are down. Let's take that right ear to the right shoulder and tuck the chin forward. And arrive on the left, reverse for 4, 3, 2, lift the chin up into the back, 4, and arrive on the left shoulder, reverse, 5, 6, I'm gonna turn to the side for you, halfway, eyes, nose, chin, shoulders, and just hang here for 4, feel the weight in the fingertips, and let's go up and over, carving out of that stomach, reaching forward, 5, 6, pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, soft knees, heavy head, bend the legs, drop the tailbone down, let's round it up in 8, lower back coming into place first, stomach, middle back, ribs, chest, shoulders, neck, and head, left ear for 4, tuck the chin, and arrive, bring it back, up 5, lift the chin, see the ceiling up and over. Must be the children of Israel. And reverse. And tall vertical. Let's just take it halfway, eyes, nose, chin, shoulder. For 4, and hold. Get that weight forward in the toes. And as you start to go down, reach out of the hips. Forward into the toes, weight out of the heels. Hang your head, weight in the fingertips. Let's pulse for 8. And take that bend for 2, and let's start that roll up. Nice and easy, putting everything back into the place in its right order. And neck, head, shoulders down, eyes lifted. Find that tall back, and exhale it out. Excellent. So that is just about half of the exercise. Normally we take it through a little bit more, so we build on that lubrication and we start to really feel that fluidity from the neck and the spine, okay? Awesome. We're gonna move into the second exercise and we're gonna take a wide base now, okay? So now we're gonna be coming into a flat back exercise. What this flat back exercise is going to do is it's really gonna open up the hamstrings for us, and we're actually gonna get a little bit of core work as well. So I'm gonna take that wide base again. I still feel weight out of my heels. There's a slight bend in my knee. What I'm thinking about doing is I'm thinking about trying to get sat in a chair behind me, but it keeps getting pulled out from underneath me. So I'm just compensating by coming forward. What we don't want to happen is when we think about leaning back is we go like this, right? See how I'm pulling my hips back versus me taking my head forward and creating that flat back moment right there. Once again, if your flat back is here today, it's here. If it's at 90 degrees, it's at 90 degrees. We're working with what we've got. So we're gonna go forward. I want you to pulse into this upper back, flat back position, for 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, drop and hang it over. Slight bend in the knees, weights forward in the toes. So I still feel all of this opening up back here. Head is heavy. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here comes the fun part. We're gonna take the top of the head and we're gonna come back up into that flat back. Reach back up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You guessed it. Drop and hang for 8, bend the legs. Here comes that nice juicy roll up again. And we're gonna take a moment at the top. If you are modifying with a chair, you can put hands down so that way you're supported. Let's just make sure that we're not dropping and creating a puddle in our back. I wanna see a tabletop by pushing your lower abs as if they're trying to come through and support that lower back, so that way we have that lower back nice and supported there. We're gonna inhale tall, wrist in hand, take a nice juicy side stretch over to the side. If you want to put your wrist in your hand and take it over to the side, exhale and release. We'll take it over to the left. Inhale tall, think about a slinky going down the stairs. A slinky doesn't go like this, right? Otherwise, it wouldn't be as fun. So we're thinking up and over. So I'm trying to get taller and then create that space. That's how I feel the stretch from my hip all the way up into my armpit, stretching out that rib cage. I'm going to want us to do it again. You can put hands on hips. We're going to go back into the flat back. We're going to pulse for 8, drop and hang for 8. Metal rod from your lower back to the top of your head. Bring it all up in one piece. Flat back for 8. Exhale, drop and hang. We're going to round up for 8. Inhale tall. We're taking it to the left. Inhale tall. We're taking it to the right. Yeah? So here we go. We're going to use one of my favorite bands. I bet you all know this song. Gotta love it. Go ahead. Bass for me. All 10 toes on the floor. Soft knees. 5, 6. Take it forward for 4. 4, 3, 2. Find your flat back. Pulse it. 7, 6, 5. Lower abs into the lower back. Exhale, drop and hang. Let it go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Top of the head leads. Flat back. And we're up. Is your knees bent? Weight out of your heels. 2. Exhale, drop and hang. 4, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Bend the legs, drop the tail. Let's round it up. Like a wet towel, hang up, drip until you can, until the very last moment. And let's inhale tall. Take it up and over to the right, grow taller, and then start that curve into the side. And exhale, release. Inhale, 2. Exhale, let air out of the balloon as you take that side stretch, stay flat. And let's take it forward. 6, I'm gonna turn to the side for you. Take it out, wherever your flat back is, and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Exhale, drop and hang. Let it go. 8, 7, 6, 5. Heavy head. Top of the head leads. Let's go back up to that flat back. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. You're almost done. Exhale, drop and hang. Really feel those hamstrings opening. Let that upper body hang. Bend the legs, tuck the tail. Let's round it up. 5, 2, 1. Let's inhale tall. Take that up and over to the left side stretch, creating space to find that deep stretch inside of ourselves. And inhale tall. Let the air out of the balloon as you stretch over to the right. And go ahead and exhale. And let it drop. There we go. So, I know that was quick and dirty and it was really fast, but what we're trying to do is we're just trying to rethink how we're standing in our stretching and really getting to open that up. So I hope that opens you up from all of our lovely warm-ups from all of our other guests, and I will pass it off.
Thank you so much, Hannah. All right, this is my most fun town hall. So hopefully everybody is feeling a little looser, a little bit more comfortable about things they can do. And we've been putting information up on the chats, and we'll continue to make sure there's information about how you can continue to participate in these kinds of programs, even when we're not doing a town hall or a virtual senior resource fair. So before we get to the question and answer, to close out this portion of the event, we're going to have Madeline come back and talk to us about meditation. Hi again, Madeline.
Hello, thank you so much. So what I'd like to do is invite you to participate in a guided meditation with me. So settle into a comfortable seat, whether it's a chair or your sofa. Just find some place that you can allow your body to relax and release. And then when you're ready, as you've gotten yourself comfortably seated, you can close your eyes or softly gaze at the floor. And start to draw your attention to your breathing. Breathe in and out through your nose. And let your mind's eye just rest on that breath. Drawing in on each inhale and releasing the breath on each exhale. So allow your breath to be full and deep. And then just feel how your body responds to your breathing. So let your attention focus on how your chest and belly rise as you breathe in and how they softly release as you breathe out. Feel that in-breath filling your ribs. Allow the exhale to allow your body to relax just a little bit more. And then breathing in, feel the breath filling your back. And then a gentle exhale. Continue breathing in and out through your nose, allowing your attention to focus. So as thoughts arise, as they always do, just gently notice them without judgment and gently bring your thinking back to your breath. Let your attention rest there. And now just take a little bit of time to check in with your environment and just notice any sounds around you. You may hear the hum of a ventilation system or noises from the street. You might even begin to notice the sound of your breath, but let your attention fully rest on what surrounds you in the space that is around where you're seated. Just take in any sounds that you perceive. And now feel yourself as you settle into your chair. Just feel the connection of your hips into the seat of your chair or sofa. Feel your feet where they touch the floor. And perhaps feel the air on your skin. Just feel as if you can fully connect with the space around you. And now draw your attention inside to what is happening with your body. And begin to focus on the soles of your feet. Just feeling your feet resting on the floor. And then let your attention begin to scan upward through your calves, knees, thighs. Feel the weight of your hips on your chair. Feel the support of your chair or wherever you may be seated, supporting your thighs, supporting your back. So just take some time to feel your body as you gently scan through legs, hips, torso, shoulders, arms, hands and fingers. Let your scan continue, relaxing and releasing through the neck. And then scan through your face and just notice if there's any tension or stress being held there. Soften through the forehead. Relax the little muscles around the eyes and the mouth. Soften the cheeks and relax your jaw. And just notice any feelings that you're experiencing in your body. Notice any tension or discomfort that you might be feeling. Just acknowledge those places. And if it feels comfortable for you, just send your breath to any place that needs to soften and relax a bit more. And as you stay with your attention focused on your body, on the feelings within your body, just notice any time your mind wanders off. As thoughts enter the mind, just catch yourself and bring your mind back to the breath. And now just to focus a little bit more on your breathing, allowing the mind to rest from all of its thinking and to gently float on your breath. Let's practice a very simple mantra so that as you breathe in, just silently say to yourself, breathing in, and as you breathe out, silently say, breathing out. Do that a few more times. Just connecting with the breath, saying, breathing in. And then silently repeating, breathing out. Allow the mind to remain focused on the breath, and as thoughts float in, just let them float away. Following this breath practice of repeating, breathing in and breathing out one more time, let go of all of those thoughts and let your mind go free. Just return to a natural rhythm of breath. And now allow your mind to begin to imagine being calm, peaceful, and focused. So begin to develop an image in your mind of what you would be seeing in a state of calm, in a state of peacefulness. Allow yourself time to connect with these visual images of what you would be seeing, what you would be viewing as you cultivate calm and peacefulness. And now, imagine what you would be hearing in this state of calm, peace, and focus. Connect with the sounds that you would be hearing to support you in achieving this state of calmness. And now imagine how you might be feeling. What feelings would you have that you a greater sense of peace and focus? And connect with these feelings fully and deeply. Perhaps you're already feeling more calm, more peaceful, more focused. If not, then just allow your inner resources to perhaps reveal to you how you might do this. And perhaps you can begin to think of a way to incorporate this feeling of calm into your life in the days and weeks ahead. And now bring your awareness back to your body. Feel the support of the seat. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin. And notice any sounds you hear. And let us now close our meditation practice with a loving kindness meditation. So a loving kindness meditation is a direction of thoughts of care, concern, and love towards oneself and others. So continue with your eyes closed or softly gaze at the floor. Gently breathe in and out through the nose. And first, bring your attention to yourself. And I invite you to silently repeat the following words with the intention of loving kindness being sent to yourself. May I be safe. May I be healthy. May I be happy. May I live with ease. And now bring your attention to someone you deeply love. Again, I invite you to silently repeat the following words with the intention of loving kindness being sent to the person you love. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you live with ease. Now bring your attention to someone to whom you feel neutral. Someone you neither particularly like or dislike, perhaps someone that you encounter in your daily activities, but don't really know very well. Again, an invitation to silently repeat the following words with the intention of loving kindness being sent to this neutral person. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you live with ease. And finally, bring your attention to someone with whom you may have had conflict, to someone for whom you don't feel much connection. And silently repeat the following words with the intention of loving kindness being sent to this person who you may experience as difficult in your life. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you live with ease. Take a breath. Inhale and exhale. Taking your time, if your eyes are closed, slowly flutter your eyes open and make gentle movements to softly waken the body from your meditation practice. And if it's comfortable for you, draw your palms together and just bring your palms to your heart. Bow your forehead towards your heart and thank yourself for giving yourself this gift of a meditation practice that invites calmness and centeredness into your body, into your mind, and into your life. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me in this practice.
Thank you, Marilyn. Well, thank you to all our guests. We've certainly had a full experience this afternoon. I want to point out that if you go to the webpage of my website, www.lizkrueger.com/srf/ and click on the resources tab, you can get links to the online version of my senior resource guide, where many of the people who've been presenting at my senior resource fair and other organizations serving older New Yorkers are all available. And if you want a physical copy of the guide, you want actually a book format of the guide, you can call my office and we will send you one in the old-fashioned kind of mail. We've gone over with some of our presenters, but it was well worth it because they were all fabulous. But now I'm going to try to get a few of your questions in. Let's see, one, do any of your organizations offer programs in languages other than English? And we need you to turn on your sound and share your video at this time, everybody who's on this. So does anybody know if any of your programs are in any language besides English?
Before COVID, I had a Spanish translation class in the South Bronx. Unfortunately, we've had to roll that class into our online classes. So at the moment, no, for us.
That's right. We will look for some additional programs that are available in other than English and make sure that we put that information out, because it's always important for us here in New York, the challenges there, to find things in multiple languages, but the challenge must be met because we all speak so many different languages. So there's a question raised about the safety aspects of walking or exercising out of doors. All of you were presenting on ways to do exercise and relaxation techniques that are specifically good for older New Yorkers, and you all emphasize if it hurts, you're going too far or you're not doing it right. Is walking outside a perfectly reasonable thing to be doing as an older New Yorker?
Walking outside is one of the very best things you can do, and better, in my opinion, than walking on a treadmill, because when you walk on a treadmill, your feet know exactly what's happening. For fall prevention, you want your feet to be smart. So you want them to be outside. Do warm up your joints before you go outside, dress for the weather, but walking, if you have arthritis, one of your very best friends. And I will say this also, I know we have COVID, but I used to lecture in hospitals. And what I would say to people with severe arthritis is go to your community swimming pool, go to the far lane during off hours and walk in water, because it's a zero gravity way. But walking for people with arthritis is a superior exercise.
If I could just add, I absolutely agree with Liz.
It's Lynn.
Lynn, oh, I'm so sorry, Lynn, pardon me. I would just add, walking outside, be sure you're wearing the right shoes to be walking outside. Often I think we just choose something that's comfortable, but not particularly supportive of the feet and the ankles. So be sure that you choose a good walking shoe, and that will, I think, go a long way in helping keeping you safe.
And I actually know that Asphalt Green is famous for its in-water programs. Unfortunately, we're all waiting to
we are.
For the inside pools to be reopened. We're getting,
Yes.
Some of us very frustrated that we're still waiting for that. But thank you for highlighting that as well. Do any of you, I'm not sure that any of you would know, but do any of you know if there are TV channels that have good exercise programs on them? Or even websites that you can turn on and get some of the kinds of training and information you all presented to us today? Does anybody have a favorite? Okay, you don't have to.
Well, everybody has taken their trainings online. So if there's an organization, go to the Y, go to the, your community center, go to Asphalt Green, come to Health Advocates. We are all putting classes online. So you can easily get classes online at this point.
I think that's an excellent idea. And that is really one of the important messages of this whole virtual senior resource fair, that things that we never would have imagined being online 6 months ago are now showing up, almost new ones every day, because groups have realized that's how you do work with people today. And even post-pandemic, I don't think anybody's going to stop that. I think we're going to continue to have the online options available to us at a much higher level than we had pre-pandemic. It's a little weird, but it's sort of like, oh, thank you, pandemic. We're really upping our game, so to speak, for how we work with and communicate with people who might not be able to get out of their homes. So I agree with you. So I think you all highlighted this in your presentations, but a question about how do you know if the exercise is right level for me? I mean, I think the really important message I heard over and over again, if it hurts, you're not doing something you ought to be doing. So you either pull it back, and I think Chris showed us quite a bit in his presentation, how you adjust how far you're going with something. But are there any other things you should be aware of to make sure you're not taking something too advanced? Hannah, you have your hand up.
Teacher. So something that I always stress too, now that I'm coming into a little bit more with working with an older population, is communicate with your teacher. don't come in and expect us to think that you have experience or that you are going to be 100%. We all have injuries. And so the more that you communicate with your teacher, you can build that personal relationship. And also too, if I know that I'm working with you and you have a different thing, the way that your body works, or it's not feeling a certain way today, I can communicate with you better throughout class. So that way you're having a better experience class by class, not just coming in and feeling like you have to push when you don't need to. So really opening up with the instructor and asking questions that way. It's just been really helpful for folks coming in, especially if they're new to something, because then you get more questions answered rather than just diving into something unless you want that.
Right. And I know some people, doesn't matter what age they are, they decide one day they're born again and they're going to get into an exercise routine, and then they do 2 hours, collapse, and never go back to it again. So how much exercise is enough, or perhaps too much, especially for those of us who are older and maybe just starting up some of these things for a first time in a long time? Do you have an estimate of, is it every other day? Is it 20 minutes? Is it an hour? Are there any rules?
There are federal guidelines on what level of exercise older adults should try to get. For example, trying to get out and walk or use cardio level activity 3 times a week. So, certain time frames for that. But I think it's really important to sort of start slowly and start to build from there, and be very aware of the body and how your body is reacting to exercise, and pay attention, listen to your body and how much can happen as you start to build into an exercise routine.
I would add to that, the general guideline to begin where you are.
Mm-hmm.
If you begin where you are, what I say to my students often is a minute of ego is not worth 6 weeks of rehab. So,
Good.
if you overdo it, then you lose time. You can always add. And when you go slowly and you build progressively, then you get excited about doing it. If you take on too much, there's such an onus to, and especially I work with a lot of people with arthritis who feel like they're so far behind, and they'll say, oh, I could do this 25 years ago. And I'll always say, well, we could all do it 25 years ago.
Exactly.
So I would just say, begin where you are and titrate, add a little bit every day. And the answer to what is the right amount is it's the right amount for you.
Great. Thank you. Is there anything else anybody wanted to share that they realized they'd wanted to say before and they didn't get a chance to? All right. Well, you guys were, ladies and gentlemen, were phenomenal. I very much appreciate your coming in and participating. Well, not coming in, staying exactly where you were and participating. I want to thank my staff as always for putting together these programs, and want to highlight that Wendy Brennan from my office, who used to pull together the one giant senior resource fair, is now orchestrating lots and lots of different kinds of programs for older New Yorkers that we will continue to put on using the resources of Zoom and the terrific experts that work in or work with people from my district. So I want to again thank our presenters, Madeline, Lynn, Chris, and Hannah, for providing us such good examples of things we can do to make ourselves healthier and happier. I'm also hopeful that some of you might want to come back tomorrow, October 15th, in real life time, for the final event of the fair, which will be on job search for older adults. And we also have some guests coming to answer legal questions that sometimes do come up when you're in the job market. So thank you all for your participation today. I know that our viewers were just as impressed by it as my staff and I were. So thank you all. Have a good day. Stay healthy, stay safe, wear a mask, keep social distancing. We're going to get through this, everybody. We're going to get through this.